The surgery was scheduled for Monday morning. They called it minor over the phone. Then inconvenient in the group chat. My mother typed first. We planned this trip for months. My father followed. You'll be fine. Hospitals handle this every day. My sister Megan sent a photo of her suitcase. Beach shoes on top. No one asked what the surgeon said. No one asked if I'd be alone. They chose the trip. They said it out loud. What I lost was simple. Consent support. Emergency contact. Anyone listed under family. That part mattered. I work in hospital credentialing. My job is to verify surgical clearances and emergency authorizations for providers and patients. One signature decides who can act when something goes wrong. That's how the system works. No consent on file means no one speaks for you if you can't speak yourself. I told them the surgery time again. I repeated the date. I said I needed someone listed. My mother replied, "You're independent." The same word they used when it was easier not to show up. The hospital portal updated at 9:14 p.m. Emergency contact, none. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I signed the last form myself and submitted it. The nurse confirmed it twice. Are you sure? Yes. That night, I removed my family from everything that required trust. The surgery clock was already running. And if something happened on that table, no one would be called because that's exactly what they chose. Before we continue, where are you watching from, and what time is it right now? The surgery ended at 11:06 a.m. I woke up alone. No missed calls. No messages asking how it went. The nurse read from the chart. Emergency contact not listed, she said. She said it twice, like it was unusual. I nodded. She explained the next steps slowly. Pain schedule. Discharge window. Who could sign me out? I signed for myself. That part mattered too. While I was still in recovery, my phone lit up. A photo from Megan. Ocean behind her. Drinks on a tray. Caption. Finally here. I didn't respond. The hospital system updated again that afternoon. Host op care assigned. Authorized decision maker, self. That's how it stays unless someone changes it. One sentence. One rule. I was discharged the next morning. No ride waiting. No name called. I took a cab home and paid with the card I keep for emergencies. At 2:41 p.m., my mother texted. Hope it went okay. We're busy today. Busy was the word she chose. I didn't answer. I removed myself from the family calendar. Birthdays, trips, standing plans. I stopped showing up quietly. No announcement. No explanation. They didn't notice at first. 3 weeks passed. Then my doorbell rang. And for the first time since the surgery, they were all standing together on the other side of my door. I didn't open the door right away. They rang the bell again. Longer this time. My mother's voice came through the wood. We know you're home. I checked the time. 10:22 a.m. The follow-up appointment was in 30 minutes. I opened the door halfway. My parents stood in front, Megan behind them, all dressed like nothing had happened. My mother smiled first. We were worried. My father looked past me into the apartment. You didn't answer your phone, he said. I was recovering, I said. Megan crossed her arms. You disappeared. I stepped back and let them in. They looked around like they were checking damage. My mother said, You scared us. She said it like it was my fault. My father cleared his throat. You took us off your forms, he said. The hospital called. That wasn't true. Hospitals don't call when there's no contact listed. That rule doesn't change. I reminded him anyway. They only call who's authorized, I said. I authorized myself. Megan frowned. That was extreme. I didn't answer. My mother sat down. You made a point, she said. But we're here now. I picked up my keys. I have an appointment, I said. My father stepped closer. We need to talk before you do anything else. I looked at his hand on the doorframe. The scar under my shirt pulled when I breathed. They were early, too coordinated, and something had already happened that made them come together instead of finishing their trip. I didn't cancel the appointment. They followed me to the car. My mother sat in the back. Megan took the passenger seat without asking. My father closed the door harder than needed. No one spoke for the first 5 minutes. Then my mother said, "We didn't think it would turn into this." I kept driving. At the clinic, the receptionist checked my ID and paused. "Emergency contact?" she asked. "Still self," I said. She nodded and typed. That repetition mattered. Once you said it, the system keeps it. My father watched the screen. His jaw tightened. In the exam room, the doctor reviewed my chart out loud. Post-op notes, pain markers, clear recovery timeline, complication risk passed, she said. "You handled it correctly." My mother exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for weeks. In the hallway, Megan whispered, "We thought you'd need us." I looked at her. "I needed someone," I said. "You chose not to be." We checked out at the desk. No forms were handed to them. No signatures requested. Outside, my father said, "You could have told us how serious it was." I stopped walking. "I did," I said. "I said the date. I said the risk. I said I'd be alone." He opened his mouth, then closed it. My mother stepped closer. "So what happens now?" That was the first honest question. Behind us, the clinic door locked for lunch, and whatever they came to fix was already past the point where showing up late changed the outcome. We stood in the parking lot too long. Cars came and went around us. No one moved first. My mother said, "We're here now." She said it again, slower. "We showed up." I unlocked the car and leaned against it. "You showed up after," I said. Megan looked at my stomach. "Then no way. You could have waited," she said. "For the surgery. For us." I shook my head once. "The hospital doesn't wait," I said. "Neither do consent rules." My father rubbed his hands together. "Nervous habit. They said something about a record," he said. "At discharge." I looked at him. "What did they say?" I asked. He hesitated, then answered. "They said your file was flagged," he said. "That once someone lists no contact, it stays that way unless reviewed." That was correct. I'd explained it before. I explained it again. "It triggers a review," I said. "Not today. Later." My mother frowned. "Review for what?" "To confirm patterns," I said. "Absence. Responsibility. Who steps in?" Megan laughed once. "You make it sound official." "It is," I said. We stood there while the sun shifted overhead. My father said, "We didn't abandon you." I didn't argue. I opened the driver's door. "What you did," I said, "was recorded as a choice." That sentence mattered. I'd used different words before. Same meaning. They watched me get in. No one tried to stop me. And whatever they came to undo had already moved into a system that doesn't forget timing or intent. They followed me home again. Not in their car this time. They walked in behind me like visitors. My mother stood in the doorway. Didn't sit. Megan picked up a framed photo and put it back slightly crooked. My father said, "We got a notice." That was new. "What kind?" I asked. He pulled his phone out and showed me the screen. Hospital letterhead. Automated subject line. Post-event review initiated. I read it once. Then again. "This happens," I said, "when a patient lists no emergency contact during surgery." I'd said that before. Different words. Same rule. My mother's voice tightened. "Are we in trouble?" "No," I said. "Not yet." Megan crossed her arms. "This feels like punishment." "It's documentation," I said. My father scrolled. "There's a date," he said. 10 business days, I said. "That's the window." "For what?" my mother asked. "To confirm whether the patient was actually independent," I said. "Or forced to be." Silence settled. I went to the kitchen and poured water. "They'll ask why no one was listed," I said. "They'll check travel records." Messages. Timing. Megan sat down hard. "You're doing this on purpose," she said. I looked at her. "No," I said. I stopped preventing it. The letter buzzed again. An attachment loaded. Family availability inquiry. My father lowered the phone. "They want statements," he said. I nodded. "They already have mine." And the only thing left for them to explain was why, when it mattered most, they chose to be somewhere else. The inquiry moved faster than they expected. 2 days later, another message arrived. This one wasn't automated. A coordinator's name. Direct line included. My father read it out loud. They're asking who made the decision not to attend. My mother said, "We didn't decide not to. We just planned," I said. "You planned to leave." Same fact, different words. Megan scrolled through her phone. Her face changed. "They want proof," she said. "Tickets, photos, dates." "Yes," I said. "They verify presence the same way they verify consent." My mother sat down. "This feels invasive," she said. "It's standard," I said, "when no one shows up." The coordinator called that afternoon. I put it on speaker. She spoke calmly. No judgment. "We're confirming availability at the time of surgery," she said. "Was family notified?" "Yes," I said. "Was family able to attend?" "Yes," I said again. A pause. "And did they choose not to?" I didn't answer for her. My mother did. "We had travel booked," she said. "For months." The coordinator typed. "Thank you," she said. "That answers the question." The call ended. No warning. No reaction. Megan whispered, "What question?" I picked up my water glass. "Whether I was abandoned," I said, "or unsupported." That distinction mattered. And someone somewhere was now writing it down based on what they'd just admitted out loud. The follow-up didn't come by phone. It came by mail. A thin envelope. Hospital return address. My name only. I opened it at the counter while they watched. Review summary, preliminary findings. I read the first line out loud. Patient notified family of scheduled surgery. I paused, then continued. Family confirmed availability and elected not to attend. My mother reached for the paper. I didn't hand it over. Megan read over my shoulder. Her face drained. "This is just wording," she said. "It's classification," I said. "They don't use soft language." My father scanned the bottom of the page. "There's a note," he said. "Yes," I said. "That part matters." I read it. Decision not to attend resulted in unsupported patient status. Record retained for institutional reference. My mother sat down hard. "For how long?" she asked. "Indefinitely," I said. "They don't erase care failures." She shook her head. "We didn't fail you." I folded the letter once. "Careful. Clean." "You failed to show up," I said. "That's the only thing they measure." The repetition wasn't for emphasis. It was for accuracy. My father looked at me, then away. "So what does this affect?" he asked. I didn't answer right away. Outside, a car door closed. Someone laughing. Life continuing. Inside, the system had finished its first pass. And what they thought was over was now documented as the beginning of a record that follows decisions long after trips end. The second letter arrived 3 days later. Thicker this time. 2 pages. Different header. Family Reliability Review, Final Determination. I set it on the table between us. My mother didn't touch it. I read the conclusion out loud. Family members were notified available and declined participation. I paused. Same fact. Restated. Patient designated self due to lack of support. Another pause. That designation was appropriate and necessary. My father closed his eyes. "There's more," he said. "Yes," I said. I read the last paragraph. Future consent, visitation priority, and emergency authority requests from the listed family will require secondary verification. Megan frowned. "Secondary how?" "Not automatic," I said. "Not assumed." My mother's voice broke. "So they won't trust us?" "They won't rely on you," I said. "There's a difference." My father looked at the date. "This all goes back to that day," he said. I nodded. "One decision," I said. "One Monday morning." The line hung there. It needed to. He swallowed. "And we can't undo it?" I shook my head. "No," I said. "The system doesn't punish. It remembers." They sat in silence, reading a record written in plain language. They lost because they chose not to be present. They couldn't escape it because their choice was documented when it mattered most. Outside, the afternoon moved on. Inside, the doorbell stayed quiet. And for the first time since the surgery, nothing else needed to happen for the outcome to stand. They didn't argue anymore. My mother folded the letter and placed it back on the table. Slow. Like it might cut her. So if something happens again, she said, we won't be the first call. No, I said. You won't be assumed at all. My father looked up. Even if we are nearby? Yes, I said. They already decided proximity doesn't equal presence. That was the part they missed before. I said it again, differently. You were available, I said. You chose not to come. That choice is why the system changed. Megan whispered, so there's nothing we can do? I shook my head. You already did it, I said. 3 weeks ago. On the day of the surgery. No anger. No volume. Just sequence. They lost because they didn't show up when consent mattered. They couldn't escape it because the hospital recorded the absence as fact, not emotion. Records don't care about intent. They care about action. My father stood. My mother followed. At the door, she turned once. We didn't think it would last. I nodded. It doesn't end, I said. It carries. They left without hugging me. When the door closed, my phone buzzed. A routine notification. Emergency contact status. Unchanged self. I sat down. The surgery was over. The review was finished. And the people who called it inconvenient were no longer part of anything that required trust to work.